of my introduction.
My hair's woofing.
Oh, well, thank God it's something important. You know what I mean? I was just winding up for the biggest introduction of the...
Go ahead.
Always starting. Come on,
I got it.
I'm done. My Chemical Romance tonight. Yeah!
Yeah!
Woo! What's going on? We got 3/5 the crew down the line. We got Gerard, Ray, and Frank. What's going on, boys?
Hanging out, you know.
Just kicking it, you know.
just hanging.
This coming Monday, man, a certain sense of relief and an enormous dose of excitement as the album hits the shelf.
Yes.
You must be so stoked to finally have it finished and ready to come out.
We really are.
Yeah, for sure. It's called The Black Parade, and we're going to get stuck into that in a second. Is this your first time you made a Vale? I was trying to work that out, and I couldn't.
This is our third, right?
Yeah, wow.
Third.
Holy moly. So
Third session.
You guys are vets.
Yeah, we know how to get in and all the doors to in the hallways. It's kind of pretty easy.
It still confuses some of the more experienced of the, like people in the symphony orchestra go missing for days down there. You know what I mean?
I believe it.
Yeah, especially the string players.
Like catacomb.
It is. All right, so the album, The Black Parade. Welcome back with such an amazing record. And I've told you, Gerard, numerous times to your face. I've yet to say it specifically to Ray and Frank. Good work, boys.
Thank you.
Thank you very
so
much.
Good work. The question that everyone keeps asking when they hear bits of the record or the single is, how do you turn a record around that quickly with that level of production and ambition and make it sound, cohesive?
Aha. Well,
Magic.
you just don't take breaks.
Yeah.
Yes.
When was the last time you had a holiday?
Right after we finished touring in Australia,
Okay.
we had a couple weeks off for the holidays. That was it.
Right.
Right back to work.
Yeah, like 3.5 weeks.
Right. That's why I think it usually takes bands like a long time to make a record like this, because then they want stuff like time off.
Yeah.
Stuff we aren't interested in.
I was going to say, do you adhere to the rule that if you have to take, a break when you're in a band, you shouldn't be in a band in the first place?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, everybody needs to recharge batteries. But other than that, if you worked at a supermarket, you wouldn't have a break. That's the way I like to look at it.
Maybe you wouldn't do it, but I'd be constantly looking for a break.
Maybe I used to take breaks at the supermarket.
I was going to say, super bladder.
You don't get no 2 weeks off from the frozen food section.
Hell no, man. You got to work counter if you're going to get those kind of luxuries.
Right.
Let's move on to the more positive and exciting thing. This new record, Black Parade. Did you know that it was going to sound as huge as it actually does when you started working on it? Was that the ambition, or did it take on a life of its own?
It was a little bit of both. It was definitely the ambition was to make it huge. The songs we wrote, we had maybe 3/4 of the record written before we went to LA, and we kind of hoped, and then as soon as we started tracking, we knew, and then the rest of it took on a life of its own, really.
You guys are down the line tonight. It was great to have you here, and there's, hopefully millions of people around the world listening and really excited and feeling the vibe. So we're going to kick it off right now with, I suppose, what is kind of the unofficial title track of the album. It's the introduction. It's the invitation to the Black Parade. Welcome to the Black Parade. My Chemical Romance, please.
When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. He said, son, when you grow up, will you be the savior of the broken, the beaten and the damned? He said, will you defeat them, your demons? Join the Black Parade. think they want it all. You wanna play this, but I won't explain. Say I'm sorry, I'm unashamed. I'm gonna show my scar with a chair. Put on the broken, missing hair. Think I can do it, I'm just a man. I'm not a hero, just a boy who let it sit this side of the man. I'm not a hero, so care. We'll carry on, we'll carry on. And though we are take on moving, your memory will carry on, we'll carry on. And though we are broken and bleeding, no weary, no more changes on.
With a live session tonight from Maida, Vale, ushering in a brand new album and issuing an invitation. Welcome to the Black Parade. And this coming Monday, you can decide whether to accept or deny when the album hits the shelf. It's called The Black Parade. And My Chemical Romance are our very special live session guests from MV tonight. Hey, you know what?
What?
Who was playing piano before? Well, before we even started all
was
this
Eric.
stuff, that was Eric?
Yeah, Eric's our new keyboard player. He's with us now.
It's got a deft little touch, doesn't he?
He's good.
You know? It's a real jazz club vibe going on.
Yeah.
there, I think.
Real good.
Got a killer sense of humor, too.
He does?
Yeah.
Which helps because you guys are so dull. You know what I mean? My Chemical Romance and Maida Vale tonight. It's kind of the first official session centered around the release of the brand new album called The Black Parade, which is out on Monday, the 23rd of October, which obviously a lot of people are looking forward to. People getting up in your ear with expectations and stuff. They're getting up in mine. Everyone keeps talking about, chart positions and all that stuff. Do you care?
No. Expectations actually really good. It was like our most powerful weapon during making the record because people had this preconceived notion of what our follow-up was going to be. So,
And what do you think that was?
Probably like a pop record or something. I don't even know why they thought that. Like, or a pop punk record maybe. I don't know what they thought. Every interview that we had given before tracking was like, so you guys are going to make a pop record, right?
Well, thanks for telling us. We were really in the dark about that, but now we know. Great. Yeah.
And we just kept very shut up about the whole thing because we knew what we were going to make, and we didn't say anything. We're just like, I guess so, man.
You guys have kind of always been like that, and ever since I've gotten to know you, I'll talk to you about videos and whatever, and these things always seem to, kind of enter the world as a surprise somewhat. So I guess the mystery and the importance of keeping it close to your chest until it's ready is a big part of what makes the band work.
Yeah, I find that people that blab a lot and brag a lot about what they have, it's usually not very good.
Yeah.
So
well, it works for me, but each to his own. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's talk about the song that you played before, "Welcome to Black Parade," and obviously being that it's kind of the invitation to the album, it seems like an appropriate way to start. What is effectively a concept record. Now, we've talked a bit about this, Gerard, but seeing as how the album's out this coming Monday, can you go into a little bit of detail about what the record is all about for people that don't know?
Sure, yeah. It's really based on the theory of that when you die, I'd like to think death comes for you in the form of maybe your strongest subconscious memory. So for this particular character named the Patient, it comes for him as a parade, but a black parade, because his father took him to see a parade when he was a little boy. So it sounds bleak, but it's actually... It sounds bleak.
Is that just popped into your head one Sunday afternoon when you were hanging out?
I was hanging out in the park, and a bird had landed on my shoulder.
Are you constantly writing and trying to sort of come up with ideas and stuff that you can manifest into music and art?
Everybody is, yeah. Like, I find that if you're an artist, and everybody in the band's artists, like, on different levels, I think that it's all relative to your music, and I think you have to keep creating different kinds of art, and I think it just makes it all better, So.
They flew in all the way from New Jersey, and boy, their arms tired. My Chemical Romance are going to continue this week in tonight's live session. It's so great to have you guys there, and you're going to play a song called "Famous Last Words." So, again, after you.
No, I know that I can't make you stay, but where's your heart? But where's your heart? But where's your... And I know there's nothing I can say to change that part, to change
This is a day to remember for My Chemical Romance fans. A chance for you to hear songs from the latest album called The Black Parade for the very first time, and I can tell you that that one is very near to the end. I don't want to tell you any more because it might spoil the surprise, and it's going to be a big surprise when you buy that record on Monday, and you're going to absolutely love it. And very soon, more live music from My Chemical Romance tonight on Radio 1 after Peaches. The album is out this coming Monday, the 23rd of October. It's called The Black Parade. 2 songs into it in a live session that will go down in history amongst fans as one of the best. My Chemical Romance on Radio 1 being repped by Gerard, Ray and Frank. Gentlemen, you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Touring this record, you've got this great concept, this great album, and, you know, your audience is going to grow exponentially upon the release of it. I've no doubt about that. So, you know, thoughts turn towards touring and how you're going to represent it, and you know, just the ambition that you can apply to the live show and the imagery as well.
Right. I mean, you know, there's tons of things we could do now. It's actually really exciting. And the good thing about the band is I feel like we've earned it. We've built up to it. We didn't just kind of come out and just say, hey, we're going to do all this stuff. Like, it was a steady build from basements to clubs to bigger clubs to halls to arenas. And, you know, so I think we've worked up to the point where now we can kind of really have some fun with the theatrics.
And you've had everything, you know, you've thrown yourselves into every situation, had everything literally pretty much thrown at you after Reading as well, so you can go anywhere you want now. Do you know what I mean? Literally.
Been through it all.
Yeah, right on. And still standing. And, you know, soon to be on top of the world. You know, everyone's very confident about it, you know. So listen, we're going to see a lot of you, hopefully, over the next sort of year, 18 months, 2 years, however long you're going to tour it. I'd imagine you'll be in and out of the UK, and you've just announced these big arena dates in the new year as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome, man.
Wembley. Check it out.
I know, but not just that. Everywhere, Manchester. You know, the MEN. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a big room.
I know. We're real psyched about that one. We're just psyched about all of them. You know, this country's so amazing to us, so we're just gonna keep coming back.
Do you have any sort of particular recollection, you know, across your journey in the United Kingdom, maybe a gig or a chance when you sort of connected with fans or whatever, where you realised that your music was really having an impact on people in a major way? You know?
Actually, like, it was that first show at the Night and Day in Manchester, in a little cafe that played Morrissey on the jukebox. That was it. That's where it all went down.
That's a sign of things to come, though, man. If you can walk into a room and they're playing one of your favourite artists, you know it's going to be a good gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. Well, I feel like that every night on my radio show, and tonight is no exception. And we've. I was including you in a large percentage of musicians as well. So take it off. Thanks very much for hanging out with us and playing your music. It's great to launch the record this way. It's out in just a few days' time. The wait is almost over for the Black Parade. My Chemical Romance, the world is yours. And right now you're going to end it in a very somber mood with one of the most moving tracks on the new album. It's a song called Cancer. And I mean, I don't want to obviously take the title as Born, but Gerard, you want to just give us a few words about the song before we play it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a very strong metaphor, but I mean, cancer really affects everybody, and this is a song. I mean, there's not a lot to say about this song, to be honest with you. It's very honest. It's very brutal. The title is the title the way it is because it has to be honest and brutal. So,
thanks very much for your honesty, man. And gentlemen, good luck on Monday. And you know, crack open a bottle and toast yourselves. Well done.
Yeah.
My Chemical Romance. This is Cancer. Thank you.
That
What a great session. Thank you very much to everyone at Maida, Vale for making that possible, from the engineers through to the people that fetched some tea and sandwiches, whatever it took to get My Chemical Romance on Radio 1 tonight to usher in their brand new album. The Black Parade, the wait is almost over. This coming Monday, many of you will rush out and buy a copy of that. Hopefully you'll be as moved by it as we have, and everyone else who's had the privilege and the pleasure of having little advance listens here and there, and that's why, we love them. Great band. Cancer finishing off the session. You can listen again to that at any point over the next 7 days. And tomorrow, The Game